Sony, don't have to tell you what they do. It's a whole lot of great consumer electronics and professional gear and lots of other cool things for many, many years. The Senior Vice President for Corporate Communications is Rick Clancy. Rick, great to see you again. How are you?
Dave, I'm just fine, thank you. I meet you in all the greatest places.
Yeah, it's true.
Nation's capital now,
Yeah.
Las Vegas for CES the last time around we saw each other.
That's true, and then Las Vegas again at NAB. I'm sure you'll be very busy there, too.
Yeah, the professional business is a big part of what Sony does.
They're very true, very true. And I wanted to get your take on what's new, not only from Sony, but just your take on this industry in general, the whole consumer electronics end of things. And I guess even with the stimulus package, for example, a lot of people are going to get a few $100s, in some cases a few $1,000s with a bigger family. And there's already a lot of talk about how people are already earmarking that to spend money on consumer electronics. And it's certainly helping the industry, but the economy in general.
Yeah, we're paying close attention to the economy. And so far, knock on wood, consumers are stepping up and investing in high-quality consumer electronics, be it flat panel LCD televisions. Digital cameras are a very hot category, and our VAIO notebooks are doing very well also.
Gee, like the ones we're using here during our broadcast.
Yes, thank you very much. we appreciate your business.
We travel the world with our Sony VAIOs, by all means. So, and it's certainly a major portion of your business in general.
Yeah, it is. The VAIO computer business, we started in the late 1990s, and now Sony is one of the leading players in the retail segment of that business. We're not so much involved with the large corporate IT installations, but in terms of consumers who want both style and function, VAIOs are pretty neat machines.
True, and some great colors now and all sorts of neat things from artists that have gotten involved with you guys, and everything's pretty cool. Another one of the things that is getting a lot more attention these days are the Sony digital cameras. It seems like everybody is carrying a digital camera. You've made an analogy during the commercial break about how not only do folks have their cell phones, and they may or may not have a camera built in. If there's any phone built in the last few years, it probably does. But their cameras as well, because it's all about sharing experiences.
Yes, it is, and we saw that trend over the past year where not only would you have one digital camera in the home, but each person in the household had their own digital camera, sometimes even engraved with their name or some other saying on it. So the CyberShot line of cameras did very well. In fact, the digital imaging business for Sony was our best business in the past year, even better than television and computers and what have you. So that's very important, and besides the point-and-shoot line of cameras, now we're starting to see, and we expect to see, a move where people step up to the SLR or the digital SLR type cameras.
Yeah.
Just as they did with film photography when they went from point-and-shoots to SLR. Now they're going from digital point-and-shoots up to digital SLRs, and we've actually made some new product announcements since I saw you at CES at the PMA, Photo Marketing Association show, for some new Alpha SLR cameras.
Wow. And Alpha cameras, and how are they going to be different?
Well, the Alpha is the name for the SLR line, so there's a lot more flexibility in terms of being able to add lenses and customize the camera and shoot at a more professional grade, and that's very important to folks. It's a very passionate community. In fact, I serve as Sony's blogger, and you can go to sony.com/electronicsblog and check it out. But the most passionate community of people on that blog are the folks involved with digital SLR photography.
Wow. And you mentioned the ability to interchange lenses and do some different kind of features as you're shooting.
Absolutely.
Rather than just, well, fix it and post, as we say in the production business, is really capturing much more of an interesting audience of folks that are becoming much more serious about their photography. And, of course, it's digital now, so everybody wants to do that. And while everyone in the family might not have a digital SLR quite yet, whoever's the most avid photographers in the family certainly are aspiring to do that and have just a lot more fun with photography.
Yeah, we could see a scenario play out where you might have one digital still camera, digital SLR camera in the home, but then the other members would have the point-and-shoot CyberShot or another brand.
Sure. And not to be left out of the navigation end of things, Sony, of course, stepping up and doing some pretty cool things there, too, with some GPS goodies.
Yeah, we introduced two NavView navigation units at CES while you were at the show, and those have gotten off to a pretty good start. In fact, on the blog, I'm seeing a lot of interest on a post we did about that subject. We actually had engineers in the field log some miles and get all the kinks out before they introduce the product, so that's an interesting story.
Good. And, of course, you can check them out, too, at Sony.com and even your blogging area as well, electronics blog. Sony going green, like a lot of responsible companies, and you're doing some things to really help people recycle electronics a whole lot easier.
Yeah, we're making it as easy as we can. We've opened up, with the help of Waste Management, electronics recycling centers in all 50 states in the country where consumers can take any Sony product and have it recycled at no charge, absolutely free. And our aim ultimately is to get it to the point where there's at least one recycling center within at least 20 miles of 90% of the American population. So we're well on our way. Right now, we do have them within at least that distance from all our Sony-style stores around the country.
Good. Well, that ties in nicely, too. So do check that out as well at Sony.com. There's much more information. When you visit our site, we'll link you to Rick's site, and you'll see guest pictures and videos as well, videotaping all the interviews here at the CEA Washington Forum. Rick Clancy is Senior Vice President for Corporate Communications with Sony. As always, a pleasure to chat with you, and continue to keep us informed. We'll continue to talk about cool stuff from Sony.
It's good to see you, Dave. Who knows where we'll see you next time.
That's true. And in what country, for that matter. You never know. We're back with more from Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, and the CEA Washington Forum. Dave Graveline into tomorrow on the Advanced Media Network.